Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. One of the celebration choices, which is free subject to a qualifying order of £45, excluding shipping and handling, are these gorgeous Sunshine and Rainbow 6x6 inch designer series papers. If you purchase the Rainbow of Happiness bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, on page 18 of the January to June 2022 mini catalogue, and I made this card with it. So it uses the dies, the cloud punch and the splatters embossing folder. There are two in the pack. There's a striped one and the splatter pattern. Because the papers are so pretty, I didn't want to cover it up. I wanted to put it on a piece of vellum. You cannot stamp on vellum, not unless you emboss on it, because the ink will just stay on the surface and it will rub off. So one way round it was really to cut it out of cardstock, and I put an adhesive sheet on the back of the cardstock so it would be easy to adhere it to the vellum without causing a lot of mess. I cut 2-inch strips in 4 plain coloured cardstock. The die will just fit nicely in it, and then you mix and match the arcs to create 4 different rainbows. I used Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Pool Party and Misty Moonlight cardstock. This die will also cut out the rainbows on this sheet of paper from the designer series paper. Fits perfectly. I also stuck an adhesive sheet on the back so it would make it easier to adhere to the project. I used different pieces of designer series paper, and these are the memory and more cards, so they are larger than the ordinary card. I just cut the designer series paper to 4 inches by 6 inches, I think it is. Put that on top, and I've used a variety of dies in the die set. So these clouds are from this die here, and this is from the cloud punch, and there's a little bit of stamping with this line stamp here, a spotty one and a raindrop one. For this card I use the cloud punch to punch out the clouds from the designer series paper, and this is the scallop die, and as you can see there's only 3 scallops, so I just elongated it so it would fit the You Make Me Happy sentiment from the stamp set. These are the 2 bigger dies, the separate ones. For my third card I used this die, the rainbow die and the scallop die, and also the cloud punch, and in the inside I also cut a scallop detail in there. This is made out of half an A4 sheet of basic white thick cardstock, so it's 5 7/8 by 8 1/4 inches and folded in half. So I had one left, so I thought I'd show you how to make this card. The card base is 5 7/8 by 8 1/4 inches. That's 14.5 by 21 centimetres. It was scored at 4 1/8 and folded in half, and in metric that would be 10.5 and folded in half. Trimmed this vellum down to 2 3/4 inches. So now it measures 2 3/4 by 3 inches, and in metric that's 7 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. You need a pattern paper, and I'm using this pattern, and that's been cut at 3 7/8 by 4 3/4. In metric that will be 10 centimetres by 12 centimetres. I'm just going to put a tiny bit adhesive sheet. I don't have to faff around applying glue on the bottom. I've placed it on my die cutting machine, making sure that that is straight. My standard sandwich is platform 1, thin die adapter platform 2, the base platform 3 cutting plate followed by your cardstock, and then die cutting edge face down and the top platform 3. Apply adhesive to the back, remove the sticky tape backing and pop it on the card front with an even border all round. Now I can attach this piece, and you can just apply dots of Tombow glue on the back. I also want to put some adhesive on the back of this. Wonder if that's wide enough. Yeah, that's plenty, because it's going to be fiddly trying to glue these arcs. So what I'm going to do is tape that to my cardstock and place the die on top, making sure that my die doesn't move, and I'll run that through the machine. So now that's die cut, and this is die cut as well. Glue that on top. Then I'm going to stamp this sentiment, "You make this world a better place," in the middle. In Floaty Flamingo ink, take the label and only sandwich it upside down like this. Leave the grey plate, which is platform 4 and platform 1, and emboss it. From the Designer Series paper you can see there's various clouds with different patterns on it, and I want the one with the heart. So I should punch that out. I'm going to glue that flat. Put dimensionals on the back. Remove the backing tape and pop that here. Then for the inside of the card I shall cut another strip. That's already got adhesive on the back, and I'll do that off camera. Remove the backing paper, place it on the edge like so. Make sure there's nothing sticking out, trim it off. Just add a rhinestone at the very end. So those are the cards made with vellum, so as not to hide the Designer Series paper underneath, and you can see that they're a lot bigger, the memories and more cards, and this is just from basic white cardstock. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. All the supplies are below this video in the Show More section. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for watching. Bye.